Welcome back to the Quest for Details. This is the Heritage book. We have the honor and the privilege of adding another page to the book. This is the story of the last day of the Sonoma Developmental Center here in California in the United States. My mother is retiring from the facility where she has worked, has taken the camera and filmed the buildings and the structures, some of which are 125 years old, and documented it, which is the purpose of the Heritage book. This is a very long documentary through the eyes of somebody who has lived a large part of their lives there. State employees work minimum of 8-hour shifts, 7 or 5 days a week, often 6 days a week, often 7, often double shifts. They become a family. They know each other. Not only that, but they are taking care of clients that have lived there their whole lives. And what else can you say? It was an actual community. It was an actual town with its own post office, and thrived for 120 plus years based on occupation and learning instead of just housing the clients. And from the very beginning, starting that and doing daily schooling, daily work, paid work, and making sure that everybody who lived there was able to learn how to do and use their skills that they had as much as they could. So this is an incredible privilege. I hope that you enjoy it. I understand it's not for everybody. My channel has a lot of people that watch it for the treasure hunting and everything. And these other series I'm going to continue to add to, because they are the details and they're part of my original goals, and I intend to do a lot of interviews and just try and document as much as we can, because every detail is important. So thank you for watching. It's about an hour long. I didn't break it into parts. I just figured you could do that if you wanted and come back and watch it in parts. I appreciate it as always. From here, I'm going to let you see it through the eyes of someone who I think is the best storyteller for the situation.
What's your feelings today as we close this 127-year facility?
My first thought is sadness.
Sonoma Developmental Center will be closing its doors. 1,600 acres. Backs up to Jack London State Park in Glen Ellen, California. This has been its own city called Eldridge for 127 years. There's the old paint shop, where at one time it washed and dried clothes for over 3,000 residents, and some residents actually worked here. The inside of the laundry. Back of the main storeroom. Back of the old administration up there. Once a bustling place, Pretty big. Office. Restroom to rest in. Algicide and salt for the water treatment plant. Quite the washing machine. All defunct now, closed down. Restrooms and locker. Old office for parts. Soiled linen carts. Bins for soiled linen. Stretching beyond eyesight almost. Many trucks came to pick up the soiled linen and bring them to laundry in these covered carts. That's quite the dryer. Don't know what that is. There used to be some workers here of the people who lived here, and they ran Socks R Us. And there were millions of the lost one socks. And the job was to find them during the day. It was really well-paid work. Clean linen in a tens that will save for emergencies, probably. No more residents are here. Or half will be shipped off to the other facilities. So here's the back side of the laundry. It is quite the large building. This is the outside of it. And SDC has had its own carousel on grounds that our people traditionally came up on special holidays, and we would put them on, and they had their own private carousel. And it still works. Our horse equestrian training lady and various others were trained in its operation, and they would come up and wait for us to come by tram, bus, or ambulating. We used to have functions up here. Has a little control house over there. And for all intents and purposes, our own carousel. And everybody could go on it. We have seats. And it still works. And then we'd have picnics here. We always did it on Easter. We always had a horse day. Whenever we had equestrian events, the carousel ride would follow. The next day, and we'd get picked up and brought here, and everybody would get to ride. So it looks little, but it's the thrill of a lifetime. And it's the back side of old administration. They worked on that a few years ago to try and save some of it. It might be the only remaining building here in a few years, if they leave it. That's our own post office, Eldridge, California. This has been our current administration. The grounds are beautiful. This is our old classic cuts. Used to come here for hair appointments. Has its own little creek. Used to bring people here for haircuts, for hair appointments. Used to have at least 4 barbers at one time. Fundamentals, where you could come and pick up active treatment equipment. Over there, our old trust office in the main kitchen, main storeroom for food. It's very windy today. That used to be our own bank on grounds. That used to be our store down there where they could cash their checks and get hot food, lunches, soups, goodies, hair ties, candy, clothing, birthday cakes. The size of the magnolias on grounds are amazing. Administration only. Bright cottage over there where they're sorting stuff for the surplus. And I see people coming out of the main kitchen meetings, so I won't film them. That's all. In the beautiful Sonoma Valley. You can imagine the fun and the joy and the sounds, the excitement. My personal favorite. I guess they're going to run free now. These are straps for the wheelchairs. There's a ramp over there. And you just wheel the wheelchairs right up in here. Strap them down. Everybody got to ride. Everyone got to ride. This was its own little city. This was our own metal shop. Used to have to fabricate all kinds of things. It's been long closed down. So as it's my lunch break, I'm just walking around. Some of the oaks on grounds are just incredible and in good shape, especially in these little sheltered areas between the buildings. And I've come across this incredible, I believe to be a chanterelle. I used to have a friend that hunted these hills up here under the oak trees for the chanterelles. And this is my hand. The biggest chanterelle I have ever seen in my whole life. And if I still knew his number, I would call him and show him this mushroom. A beauty. That is my boot. Under this lovely oak. This is the back side of what they used to call Paxton Goddard, toward the first units at SDC, and it overlooks the valley. They were on a hill up here. They're quite large. And then it turned into adaptive engineering. And this used to be what we called the wheelchair graveyard. There used to be hundreds of wheelchairs in there. That's the old shoe shop there, where we made our adaptive shoes. That was the gym for a while. That's actually the back side that we were looking at. That's adaptive engineering. At SDC, it didn't house clients for, probably closed in the 60s, I think, or the beginning of the 70s. Right on Jack London State Park property. This was the old upholstery shop. Backside of the laundry. And the Eldred store. Oops. We used to have dances here. This was our activity center. I'm running out of time to get more information. It's the back of our old activity center. We used to have a sensory room there in our haunted house, our garden. Some of these trees are just huge. There's a creek right down there that skirts the property. This was Thompson Bay a long time ago. Held probably 100 people. But it also got closed as we downsized. And it's actually adjacent to our own private baseball field. The grounds are beautiful. King Cottage, the back. This is the old cottage. Over there, our tiny hospital, our acute facility, our laboratory, our Frederickson building. This was a cute little cottage. One of the older units. This was our clothing center where the clients could come and shop. This was environmental enhancement. The place is so big that I've only done a quarter of it. This was Wagner, where we had dances out back. Maybe it all looks the same. All of these residences have been closed for many years. They got a remodel, 48, 60s, and they got more money and they rebuilt. This was a cute unit that's been closed since I was here. Tolman, there were infants there. This was King Cottage. Up there is Plant Ops, Police Department, Fire Department, Motor Pool. Here was a training center. This used to be church. Then it turned into a training center, McDougal. This we call Sonoma House and was a residence. And we have parties on the lawn. And our old work sites from a long time ago. And remember they planted those trees, they were tiny. Here was a training center, Slater. It was a work site for a while, training center for a while. This was Hatch, a work site I took people to at the end of the 80s. Very nice. It's on a cute loop. And we had gardening. The tree gave up. This is walnut. Very old. It's been closed for a while. We have a creek that runs through grounds. This was Hill Cottage. One of my personal favorites. Had a lot of windows and a lot of sun came in there. Down in there, another little unit. Osborne. This was Staffing Services building for quite a while. This is our current gymnasium and functional building. This was Oak Valley School, a large school center, training center. These are little houses that families can come and stay in while they were visiting their people. And the newer structures are all down in here. We have a creek running through grounds, a little bridge. These are the Nelsons. These buildings were about the third to the last ones to close. The Johnsons. You can envision this place as a thriving city. Regamis. Nelson C. I had the pleasure. There are 4 units in the right-hand side. It's the back side of the Imperans. Everybody's moved on now. They're living in a community setting. All the units had beautiful yards, beautifully landscaped. This is a worksite Lux. It used to house the blind people challenged with blindness. Activity center of recent. Backyard de Cromo was the last unit before the last unit. Powerhouse. There were 4 units over there. We have our own little bridge here. This is a site where there are no cars. The creek. The last unit that was open. Never thought I'd see the day where there are no cars here. Three units down there. Only one is open. It's a specialized program. When the California fires came through here last October 9th, it burned right up to this road. And these units were all evacuated due to health reasons. And they weren't allowed to go back. It's greening up now. This was Smith College. There's a dam there. There's a lake behind that dam right there. It's our water supply. All empty. They never got to return to their units after the fire. What's your feelings today as we close this 127-year facility?
My first thought is sadness. Been here, working here for 34 plus years, almost 35 years, and it's like, you know, today is my last day, and it's actually surreal. It's like you can't deny that denial of that the place is going to close. It's not going to close, but now, today, as it approaches the next few hours, you know, it's going to close, and its reality has hit. And now it's getting to the point that, what are we going to do now? That's my thought. You know, it's somewhat happiness, a little bit scared. You know, that feeling of, you know, what's this new life going to bring? You know? But you know, you got in some ways you got to say positive. Think of the positive spot.
What were some of the best things that happened to you while you worked here for 35 years, Ray?
Meeting people. I met a lot of people here that friends that became lifelong friends. I've been known for 30 years. I still know them, and I look to the point that I look forward to seeing. Actually, a few of my friends have retired before me, so I'm kind of like looking forward to joining those ranks of the retired people. You know, so that's again looking at some positive things. You know, so see what happens.
How'd you feel driving into work today, Ray? Knowing it was your last time to jump in the car and drive to SDC?
Anxiety. I felt a little anxiety. You know, just the unknown, I guess. You know, so the unknown is always going to get you. But then I started thinking about, I do have some things, you know, I have some place I want to do. I got offered a job. I haven't really accepted it yet. You know, something down my alley. You know, I'm a track coach, so they offered me a job. So I may take that starting, but I'm taking a month off, which is nice. I take a month off just to reflect, you know, and kind of just do nothing for a month, see how that feels. You know, but the biggest thing is that routine is gonna, like I thought it was last night. Every day is gonna be Saturday. How am I gonna handle that? You know, it's like, you know, I'm so routine. I gotta get my clothes ready, get my food ready, set the alarm clock, blah blah blah. You know, plan my day. Now I have no days.
You'll be getting up at 5 o'clock every day of the rest of your life, sir.
I guess so. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
That's it. Nothing else to say, I guess.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, and enjoy those golden years.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for all your years of state service.
Yes.
I'm sure that everybody that lived here and the people that you worked with, it was a pleasure, and you've always been an honest young man, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy those golden years.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
This I forgot to film the other day. This is at the old King Cottage, and right above the doorway is a fruit basket. Isn't that unique? And it's been closed for quite some years. But it was one of the better units. It had so many sunny windows, and it let the sun in. The high windows also really let a lot of light in that building. And it backs up on our baseball field. Well, I've turned in my state ID, my state keys, and it's the end. There were many people that have more than 30 years, 35, 37, 38. This was Cohen, one of the last units to close them alone. This road is impassable since the fire. We had a fire here last year, October 9th, 2017, and up there was Sunrise Industries. Back in the day, the clients actually canned food up there. We used to do cardboard recycling, check bags for Hewlett-Packard, microstatic bags, all paid work. We had a junior farm up there. It had almost every animal you can imagine, even a nice giant llama named Michael. We had pigs, miniature horses, chinchillas, chickens of every sort, cats, many, many animals that people took care of. Beyond that was Sunrise Industries with 3 large sheds, one of which was the old canning shed from a long time ago. But I cannot get up there. It's been closed since the fire. This is our swimming pool. We had a lifeguard on duty. It's covered when it's not in use. A gazebo back there. I'll come around on the back side. This is one of the newer units. Road Rock has a wonderful strip on this side that backed up to our water supply. Spent many a hot afternoon on those grassy slopes. Here's my personal favorite, Bentley unit. This is where we made the ball of string. In 10 years, we made a 70-pound ball of cotton string from linen wrapping string only. They weren't allowed to return to the unit after the fire last year. I always liked the end units because they had this strip of woods all along here. It's the back of Bentley. These units used to house as many as 45 people. In the day, they were bustling and large breakfasts, and we'd eat in 3 different groups, and each unit has its own kitchen. We used to have many containers here. These were our emergency containers in case of emergency. These were some of the work sites. This was Snedeker. We had many large parties in that courtyard. Fun, fun, fun. This is Van Horn, a work site. That's Farrell Building, another work site. And this was Sifford, which later turned into, we'd go and see large screen movies, and the last of we decorated pumpkins there this year. Sifford. This is the old program office when 6 existed. This was our gazebo. This year we were hosted by some Hawaiian dancers there. And this is the entryway to the swimming pool. Strange to see no cars, no people. Most of the staff are signed out today, and the remaining 20 will sign out on Monday. And there used to be nowhere to park. Corcoran Unit. This used to have 1,000,000 plants here. You couldn't even see the building, there were so many plants there. And Bemis, one of the newer units. Well, within the last 50 years. Look up! There he is! Here was our new clothing center. A giant work site that turned into our clothing center. We cleaned that out in the end. It also has a lovely strip along here with a creek all along it. But it was first and second impressions, and they could come and shop for clothes, new and old. And the creek is down there. Usually it's rushing, but it's just the beginning of winter and we haven't had that much rain. And this is Powers giant training center. Parmalee. Every month there was an employee pick that had given outstanding service and a small monetary award, and the sign was placed at your choice of parking spots for the whole month. So no one could park in your spot. You got to pick your favorite spot, so even when all the parking was crowded and there were meetings or what have you, you'd always have your parking spot for that month if you were the employee of the month. And as far as I'm concerned, every staff, whoever worked here and loved and cared for their people and improved their quality of life and assisted them every day with every activity of living that they needed to be the best they could be. They were all employees of the day and forever. This was like a family here. Like a family. The grounds were beautiful. And if you know what this is right here, and you worked at SDC, you can comment below. It's right by the bridge. And these are wild grapes. They don't look like anything now, but I made jelly out of them every year of my career. And there's one more thing to look at on this bridge. And if you know what that is, leave a comment below. There'll be no kissing under that mistletoe. These trees have been pollarded every year of their lives. They have incredible knobbies on them, but they're already sprouting out. And it's not January yet. Goodbye, Craig.
Bye, Becky.
Enjoy your golden years.
You too. Give me a call one of these days and we'll have time.
Okay?
Love you.
Love you. Back of the gym. And this was our theater. Many a party there. Many bands. Well, what more is there to say than I'll give you a ring one day and we'll have coffee. God bless all the folks who lived and worked here. This is the building I was hired at 28 years ago. And this is one of my favorite luncheon areas because the redwood trees are here. There was hardly ever parking, but it always had the perfect amount of sun and shade if you could get it. And this was Poppy Unit, another favorite for the blind. And last but not least, my favorite tree, an amazing tree. And this video wouldn't be a video without this tree. And I'll show you why. All the woodpeckers made holes all the way up this old redwood, and they put their acorns in it for the winter. Unfortunately, all the squirrels and everybody around here appreciates their effort. An amazing feat when you think of it, and it goes all the way up. But they literally work so hard making this many holes. And then filling them with the acorns. They've even used the natural crevice of the tree to put them deep in there. Even a giant one there. Somebody had to carry that up and put it there. To line these, and even here, this is near the bottom of the base of this old redwood. This is the old Lux unit for trailing. And here's the last remaining staff at Sonoma. And thank you for this, Elsie.